Hennessy, let's now confirm the dividends. Pillaging $2 and $1.20. Half Hennessy $2, and third was number 6 Recruiting $3.40. We're going to take some heat out of down here in the mounting yard. It's back to you, Kenny.
Yeah, some very interesting television there, Simon. You know, derbies are rarely about the prize money. The millions might be handy, but the real bonus for the winner is that of reputation. And in the case of Don Eduardo, vindication. Owner Edward Cowanco, the San Miguel boss who sponsors the day, will effectively be winning his money back. Today is about justifying the biggest cheque ever written in these parts for a yearling we now know as the Don.
Don Eduardo $3.40, Fantastic at $15, Prince of War rather short $9.10, Scott Seamer factor there, Grey Song $28, Foxborough $80, 58 for Another Warrior. Then we go to My Tally, the likely leader, at $58, Valedict at 75 and 83 for Navy Blue.
Okay, let's have a quick look at the tips. The boys liking the derby. Kenny, Don Eduardo, Ronnie, Carnegie Express, and also Simon Marshall's with Ronnie with Carnegie Express. Well, I'm sure it's a frenzy out the back in the betting ring. Here's Andrew Voss.
Yeah, it certainly is, Simon, and all the money is for Carnegie Express. In fact, it is odds on in the ring here at Randwick on Super Saturday. Carnegie Express, the outright favourite, ahead of Don Eduardo. Fantastic represents tremendous value on the tote to the price that you can get along the rails here. But all the news is for the top one. They're saying it's going to be a Windigay Waterhouse in the Australian Derby. That comes up after this break on the Wide Water Sports.
There we are. The horses are behind the barrier. The 3-year-olds for the AJC, the Australian Derby, over 2,400 metres. What a race it's going to be. Is it Don Eduardo? Is it Carnegie Express? Possibly Eustonov. Fantastic. The names are many. It's going to be a great race.
A bit of an ironic twist is that Don Eduardo, of course, is owned by Mr. Eduardo Cowanco, who's the principal of the San Miguel Brewing Company. So he's really going to win his own prize money if he wins the San Miguel Australian Derby. I suppose his wife will give him the cheque.
Becomes a cheap sponsorship, really, doesn't it? Okay, Simon Marshall's down there with the 3-year-olds behind the barrier. Very important running this 1.5-mile trip. Simon, they're relaxed. What do you see?
Yeah, they are relaxed, Simon. I mean, obviously, Don Eduardo, you've spoken a lot about. He's had a nice prelim. Now, Damien's just got to worry in this race because he's such a flat-footed, staying type of horse. He's got no brilliance, such as Jimmy Cassidy's mount and Carnegie Express. Damien's got to sit back and have one run at these horses. If he gets in a pocket the 800 metres, he can't win. Carnegie Express will be hard to beat. But these two horses obviously standouts behind the barriers. Mr. Tally looked good, Another Warrior. Look, there's really nothing else to talk about. I mean, Eustonov, he's always been a lovely type, and he's nice and relaxed. Might be Bart's day. I mean, it's the best I've seen the horse look since coming up from Melbourne. What else is there to talk about? Prince of War, fantastic win there last week. He obviously hasn't left any feet in the bin. He's done extremely well, hasn't lightened off too much at all. Obviously had an easy week. So the people backing Prince of War, there's no problems with him. But yeah, it's going to be a battle of tactics this. You've got Carnegie Express with a load of brilliance. He's going to sit up on the speed. He's a horse that can relax. Is he a true stayer? We'll find out today. I don't think they have to be true stayers to win 3-year-old derbies. They just have to have that little bit of brilliance, little bit of turn of foot, sit up on the speed. He'll be the horse to beat Carnegie Express. Damien's just got to keep Don Eduardo out of trouble and make one run. And it should be a fantastic finish, boys.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the great classics, the AJC San Miguel Australian Derby of the year 2002. Great horses, Carnegie Express, Don Eduardo, Fantastic, Eustonov. And to call the action, here's Terry Bailey.
Good on you, Kenny. A great showdown between these two outstanding horses. We're waiting on My Tally to move in with Another Warrior. Universal Prince with that epic turn of foot, winning it last year. My Tally's moved in. No doubt a race of tactics, the Derby. We're waiting on Another Warrior. Chris Muntz about to bring the Brave Warrior horse forward. Don Eduardo, gate 1, red and black colours. And then the red, the black star or the diamond, black and white sleeves, white cap, Carnegie Express, gate number 7. Another Warrior yet to move in. Prince of War, Scott Seamer just giving him a pat down in gate number 2. on this famous start point, 2,400 metres in front of the 3-year-olds. Carnegie Express looking for his place in Australian history to win the Triple Crown. The last horse to do so, the mighty champion Octagonal in 1996. A race revered for the winners that have been able to take victory in the years gone by. It's the greats. And another great will add to the record books for the running of the San Miguel Australian Derby. Another warrior is being led up, and the field of 11 set to go. Carnegie Express heavily back late, set for the running of the Australian Derby. The Blue Ribbon, they're racing, and Carnegie Express jumps centre of the line. Prince of War near the inside, away well. Don Eduardo on the fence, Valedict 3 out, and Carnegie is now zooming forward 4 deep. Pentastic coming across, Grey Song behind those, My Tally wide. Then came Foxborough, Navy Blue, Ustinov, and another warrior went out to last. Valedict took up the roll. It's the Danehill horse in front. Carnegie Express moved up to be a clear second. A length away on the outside, Prince of War pulling hard. Don Eduardo's on the fence, and My Tally's going around them quickly. He's putting on a bit of a spurt of speed going up to second. 2 lengths away, Grey Song being shaded by Pentastic from Foxborough. Well back, Navy Blue, Ustinov, and another warrior last of all. 10 lengths covers the field. They're in search of the 1,600 metres mark. They're about to head down the back. And Valedict leads up in the Derby by a half length on My Tally, and Carnegie Express third. Just got up onto the heels in front there and wanted to over races. Cassidy tried to steady him back. A length and a half, Don Eduardo's gone to sleep on the fence. Prince of War outside of him, 2 lengths, Grey Song, Pentastic. 2 away then is Foxborough from Navy Blue. Then came Ustinov, second last, and another warrior, the tail ender. Going up to the 1,200 metres mark, halfway from home in the Derby, and Valedict puts on the speed by 2 lengths, My Tally. 2 lengths away, third is Carnegie Express, and the Don's on his inside. A length back, Prince of War, then came Grey Song, Pentastic. They were being followed well back by Foxborough, Navy Blue, Ustinov, and another warrior down the side. On the High Street side of the famous Royal Randwick Circuit, Valedict led by a length on. In second position, My Tally, and Carnegie Express has gone up 3 wide. He's gone up very quickly, and in a lightning move, Jimmy's taking him to the front. He's raced clear by 2.5 to My Tally. On the fence, Valedict, a length, Prince of War. Don Eduardo flat-footed when they took off. Then came Foxborough, followed by Grey Song. Pentastic is going up in front of him. Well back is Ustinov under pressure from another warrior. And last of all, Navy Blue. Carnegie Express is bolting on the corner. 500 metres to go. The Super 3-year-old straightened up by 2.5. My Tally trying hard from Valedict. To the outside, Pentastic. Where's Don? He's under a lot of pressure, but he's starting to run on. Down to the 300, Carnegie Express. Jimmy calls for him now. He's 2 in front. The Victorians are giving chase. Pentastic. Here comes Don. Don Eduardo after Carnegie Express. Don Eduardo moves up. Carnegie Express in front. The Don nabbed him and beat him. Don Eduardo in the last stride, and Oliver loves it. He's just won it from Carnegie Express. What a derby. Pentastic third, then Grey Song, Navy Blue, Ustinov, another warrior, My Tally. Well back would have been pulling up very quickly, Valedict, Foxborough, and last of all, Prince of War.
The winner, number 3, Don Eduardo, you little beauty, $3.40 and $1.30. Number 1, Carnegie Express, $1.10. Number 4, Pentastic, $2.50. And wherever you talk about this derby, they'll be talk about Jim Cassidy's tactics of taking off at the 700 metres. He left them flat-footed, but he left himself a sitting shot over this final 50 metres. And here comes Don Eduardo, the dyed-in-the-wool stayer, who was ready to pounce. He got him, he grabbed him, and he hit the front in the $2 million race in the very last bound to beat the Sydney horse Carnegie Express with Pentastic third. Here's Lee Friedman with Andrew Voss.
Lee, that's all. Ken, I got to tell you, it's just pandemonium here. The hugs of victory, Lee. That is a heart stopper.
Thank you. I'm just going to get my breath. Oh, it was a fantastic staying performance. You know, I just thought he had no hope when Jimmy put 5 lengths on him, but I knew Randwick could suit him. He's a great stayer.
Well, can I ask you just about the tactics there on Carnegie Express? Were you shocked at the 700 to see Jim Cassidy make his move that early?
I think he knew my horse would stay strong and he wanted to get a break on him, you know, and in the end he got outstayed.
One for the sponsors. It's rather appropriate.
It's pretty exciting, the whole thing.
Well done, Lee.
Thanks.
All right, here's Cassidy taking off now. I don't mind a jockey using his initiative, but by golly, I think he played into the hands of Don Eduardo, and I'm certainly not talking through my pocket because I backed Don Eduardo. But here's Cassidy. He shoots away. He's 3 lengths in front here and about 5 to 6 lengths in front of Don Eduardo. He showed his turn of foot, but Ronnie Doversey, I feel he showed it too early.
Well, you don't show your turn of foot at the 700. If he straightens up and dashes, then it's a different story altogether. Made it a staying test from the 700, played into Don Eduardo's hands, and the best ride won the race. The best ride won the race, and I've got to say that I do think that if he'd have held up Cassidy, he'd have had too much dash for them and he'd have beat them. Whether the horse was pulling a bit much on him, I'm not sure, but he did set it up for the Victorian. He's in front now of Fantastic. Now comes Don Eduardo in the red. Don Eduardo not quite there yet, 50 metres to go. He's within a neck, he's within a head, he hits the lead, and you beauty, there's the winning post. The winning jockey, Damien Oliver, is celebrating, and well he might. He's won the AJC Derby. He's now with Simon Marshall.
Thank you very much, Kenny. Well, Damien, what a build-up and what a climax for the ending.
How do you do, mate?
How do you do?
The AJC Derby on a Saturday, Easter Saturday at Randwick.
Better than a pocket full of Easter eggs, Dame. Geez, we're going to talk about Jimmy's ride. He nicked off. Did you see him nick off at the 700-metre mark?
Yeah, Jimmy was in a bit of strife, mate. The horse was pulling quite hard and wouldn't settle. My bloke is just a real true stayer. He relaxed well.
Yeah.
The credit to the Freedmans.
Yeah.
Clint McDonald, a gun horseman. He's done a great job with this horse. He did it with Northerly.
Yeah.
And now he's got this bloke going good, mate. Congratulations, Clint. Good on you.
Yeah, she's going to be a big night tonight, Mr. Uenko.
Yeah, you know, what a great reward for Mr. Kawanko. He's put so much into racing, sponsored the day, really stuck his neck out and invested a lot of money in this horse. And, you know, he's come good for him. I'm so wrapped for him.
It's going to be a nice little stayer in the making. Lee said that all along. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this horse could be a Cups horse next year.
Yeah?
Yep, Melbourne Cup, Caulfield Cup, you'll see him there for sure.
3 winners on one of the biggest days in Australia. Some say you tend to struggle a little bit in Sydney.
Oh, they got no idea, mate.
Well done, buddy. It'll be a big night.
Just got to thank physio Barry Gavin in Melbourne. I've had a bit of a knee injury. Thanks, Barry. If you're watching, mate, you've done a good job to get me here today. Thanks a lot.
Good on you, Dame. Celebrate hard. There you go, boys. Damien Oliver.
Yeah, very happy Damien Oliver. Andrew Voss is also out in the scrimmage.
Yeah, well, she's still smiling, I've got to say. Gay Waterhouse, a quick post-mortem there.
Yes, well, you can't but smile when he put out such a tremendous performance. 2 horses in the race. Exactly what it was. It was a literally ding-dong battle. I couldn't have been more pleased the way our bloke was.
All right, Gay, well, of course, there is still 2 chances in the Doncaster. You can still be right here.
Hopefully we'll be one step closer to the winner's circle and not out here.
Jim Cassidy's tactics, just one word there. We were a little surprised at the 700.
That's what we wanted him to do.
All right, there you have it, Ken.
Yeah, thank you very much, Andrew. I was talking to Damien Oliver before the first race, and I said to him, don't be surprised if Cassidy's mount pulls a bit, because he has to set him going, and it's at first go at 2,400 metres. And in the end, that might have brought about his undoing, Ron. It might have sort of forced him to make that decision to go.
Yeah, in his defence, he was pulling hard, and yeah, it could be the excuse.
You do have a true staying 3-year-old in Don Eduardo. That brilliance, we couldn't see that brilliance because he's probably up on the steel and travelling a little bit too hard.
Simon, look, I think it's lovely. I've had a few bucks on the winner, but look, you can't get out of your mind if he could have restrained Carnegie Express for another 100 yards or into the home straight and just let go. Well, the others wouldn't have got to look in.
Well, when he was running third, he had Don Eduardo where he wanted him, inside him, and says, well, I'm going to sprint quicker than you, you know, but obviously...
I've got to say, if he could have held him there, he would have beat him. But all spoils to the winner. The winner today is Don Eduardo.
He certainly is, and you can hold whatever you want. Damien Oliver, he's holding one of the most valuable pieces of horse flesh in Australasia at the moment. That's Don Eduardo, the winner of the 2002 Sam McGrail AJC Derby, as we take a break from Royal Randwick on the wide world of sports.
What a race this was, the Derby, and a terrific run by Don Eduardo, outpacing Carnegie Express just on the run to the line. Damien Oliver having an absolute ball here today. He's a man to get to know in Sydney right now, because it will be quite a celebration. He's increased his pay packet substantially here with his rides today, and that was one of the better ones. Don Eduardo, number 3, paid $3.40 and $1.30. Carnegie Express, number 1, paid $1.10, and number 4, Pentastic, $2.50. That was race 5, the Derby, and what a classic race it was. You know, 3 years ago, Michael Rodd had never been on a horse. True, but today, the jockey on top of the Brisbane Premiership has his first ride in a Group 1 race. He's with Andrew Voss.
Well, Ken, this is a great story, the Michael Rodd story. 3 years ago, working on a building site as a carpenter. Now he's here at Royal Randwick. Michael, can you give us a condensed version of the life story? I mean, how is it that you are here today riding in one of the biggest races on the Australian calendar?
Well, Andrew, I started out, as you said, as a carpenter. That got a bit tough, so I looked for something different. Because of my size, I stumbled upon racing just out of nothing. I rocked up the stables one morning, learnt to ride. 3 years later, here I am.
It sounds so simple. You just say, I learnt to ride. I mean, that process surely must take longer than just a matter of a few months.
Yeah, it takes a few months to get going up and riding track work and everything. It took me about a bit under a year to get up race riding, and now here I am, as you said.
Well, I'll ask you, when was the first time you were actually on a horse? I mean, was it just a case of you went from carpenter to jockey? Was it as simple as that, the transition?
Yeah, well, they say, like, because I hadn't ridden before, I had no bad habits. I didn't have any bad habits, so they picked me up straight away. But I got on my first horse when I was just before I turned 17. I'm 20 now.
Now, there are stories of when you worked on the building sites and that some of your workmates nailed you to the wall and things like that. They are true, are they?
Yeah, that's all true. They used to pick me up off the ground, about a foot off the ground, and just put a nail in each side of my T-shirt, and I just strung out. I couldn't move.
What do you think they're thinking today if Michael Rodd's the one who comes back to the enclosure on the back of Ebony Knight as winner of the Doncaster?
I think they'd be thinking the same as me. Unbelievable.
Well, you will have. Well, if you want me to use a phrase, you'll have nailed them by that. That'll be the greatest revenge of all time.
Yeah, that sounds good. Very good.
Tell me about the night before. Last night, nervous, jumpy, hard to sleep?
Not really. I think my whole career up until now has been unbelievable. Every day something different happens. I'm always riding somewhere else. So today, not really nervous. Had to have a sweat this morning in the sauna, so sort of had my mind on my weight more than anything.
All right, Michael, well, I'll give you the last word on Ebony Knight, because it will be at a price for trainer John Salinutri. What can we expect?
Should be a good forward run. He does get back in his races. I sort of spoke to Mr. Salinutri through the week, and he wants him ridden that way. His run last start in the Alistair Clark, when he finished second, he probably was a bit unlucky, they say. So, yeah, he should be right there in the finish, hopefully. All
right, Michael, all the very best for the Doncaster.
Thank you very much.
And, Ken, there you have it for all the builders, carpenters watching at home, bricklayers. He could be the bloke to back today on Ebony Knight, Michael Rodd.
Yes, Andrew, amazing. 3 years ago, had not ridden a horse. 17 years of age, he jumps on a horse and away he goes, and here he is. You can see how Ebony Knight and young Michael Rodd go when we bring you the San Miguel Doncaster a little later this afternoon. Here on Wide World of Sports. We'll be back after the break.
This week on Sunday, imagine your child has cancer. The doctors don't know whether to keep going with the treatment or stop it. Would you let your child decide? A powerful human story. Sunday, 9 a.m. on 9.
One company in Australia has the power to act as an extension of yours. It can handle warehousing, inventory management, fulfillment, deliveries small and large, payments, even returns. It also gives your customers access to 4,500 offices Australia-wide and can make deliveries across Australia and around the world. How? With the power of post.
Are you looking for the easy way to be a Survivor winner? Grab a Lay's, Doritos, Solo or Pepsi, and you could win. Simply check under the cap, tab or scratch your game card for your chance to win millions of instant prizes. It's the easy way to win. So grab your favourite snack or drink and you could be a Survivor winner.
Finally, the wait is over. After sellout shows in London and America, international superstar Anna Vissi is heading to Australia. Catch Europe's #1 pop goddess, singing all her hits. A 2.5-hour extravaganza for one night only. Don't miss Anna Vissi Live. Get your tickets now.
Company coming? Need to spruce up the house? Do it with style at the Brescia Furniture Easter Sale. Up to 50% off our massive range, this weekend only. But hurry, it ends Monday. Brescia, live the life.
St. Ives Apricot Scrub. St. Ives contains a unique blend of soothing Swiss botanicals and 100% natural exfoliant. And now for a sensitive skin type, an all-new ultra-gentle apricot scrub only from St. Ives. Brilliant!
P.O.D. The worldwide hit album Satellite. Featuring the smash Alive and the brand new single Youth of the Nation. Two hits and counting. P.O.D. The new album Satellite, out now.
G'day. I bet we've all drilled some crooked holes in our time, but not with this little marble. The Black & Decker Innovation Drill tells you when you're drilling the hole straight. How good's that? You've got 32 stages of torque control for all your screwdriving needs, and another LED showing remaining battery charge. The 12-volt Innovation Drill is another winner from Black & Decker.
Never before has one issue challenged who we are.
Would you share? No.
Yeah. Be there 7 o'clock Monday as the dramas unfold.
We love your show. Love it.
Yeah, love Shafted.
Take the challenge 7 o'clock Monday on 9.
On the Wide World of Sport Super Saturday, we're celebrity spotting right now, getting some more tips to confuse you at home. Brad Fittler, just a well-known punter amongst the Sydney sports set. What's going to win the Doncaster, mate?
Well, so I've been looking through. When I come to race, I normally back for namesake and number 16, the man.
Excellent.
He's hard to beat.
Good on you, Brad. Brad, the captain of the Roosters in the NRL. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, boys.
And from the New South Wales State of Origin Rugby League captain Brad Fittler to Michael Slater, the current New South Wales captain. You did skipper him for the last match.
I suppose we can say that, seeing it was the last game of the season. Chrissy bonus.
All right, mate. Now, they do know you as a great punter. All the teammates say that you are the man when it comes to punting. Absolutely. The Doncaster. Steer us in the right direction.
Is it Sunline? Is that the favourite?
Yeah,
I think that's the name of the horse, and I'm going with the favourite. I think form's been good, and in these conditions today, we should see a good race.
Admitted, Michael. You've got no idea, do you?
Absolutely none whatsoever.
But you covered it well. Good work. And here's Fatty Vorton on a rare day off. He's come along to the races. Normally he'd be at home studying for the football tomorrow, working on the footy show, the Sunday morning footy show. The Doncaster, mate. Help us out.
Well, it's one of the great races. I like. I think it'll be a bit rough. This horse called A Mission. It's one of Cliff Brown's out of Caulfield, and it loves the mile. 7 starts for 3 wins and 2 seconds. And the track will suit it, the big long straight will suit it, and it'll be well ridden by Brett Preble. I think it's an absolute moral at very juicy odds. I've got one for you, though. The Fat has declared one in the sprint race. This is unbeatable, this horse called Perno. Number 12 in race 6. It just wins by as far as you like.
Well, there you go. Probably already been raced by the time we go on air, but thanks, Batman.
You're welcome.
Yes, Paul Vorton, I think his name is that fella, and I don't reckon he'd know.
Well, funny thing, there was just a huge cheer just broke out at Randwick, and it wasn't because of our next guest who you're about to introduce, Simon. It was because Mr. Kawenko, the owner of Don Eduardo, just declared that he'd shout free San Miguel beer to all the patrons at Randwick, and that brought a bigger cheer than when Don Eduardo put his head in front on the line.
And what our next guest then did was put his head into his watch and try and work out that if Sunline can win the Doncaster, they can probably get about 15 minutes of it in. Steve McKee joins us, co-trainer of Sunline. Steve, Struth, I run out of questions to ask you. We've spoken to you, it seems, for so many years about this great mare. First one, of course, how is she?
She's great, Simon. You know, preparation's been faultless, and the way she is this week, you know, she's ready to run a big one again.
When she comes back into work again, like she just goes on and on, you have a look and you say, am I kidding myself? She is just as good. How do you work it out?
Well, you know, every year, especially this year, you know, she's rising 7. We're thinking that, you know, we'll go through the autumn and see how we go, but her form looks as good, you know, as any stage of her career. So.
Yeah, your dad told me the other night that he couldn't be more pleased with her.
Yeah, I think she's really flying at the moment, you know, and I think it's going to take a good one to beat her.
Steve, with mares, I mean, often within the racing industry, we think you've got to do different things with her. Here she is, was winning the Coolmore.
But didn't she show some guts here?
Yeah, I mean, she's been renowned for her guts. But are there any tricks of the trade and adjustments you've had to make? Because you must know her so well for all the years you've been training her. How do you still make her click?
Yeah, I think she's one of those rare horses. She really does it on her own. You know, we know how much we can give her on the track, and we know how many races she can take in a campaign, and we've never, you know, seriously stretched her too far in a campaign, and that's why I think she's come back. But that was a good grinding win in the Coolmore, because traditionally her second up wins haven't been as good.
Is she still keen to work on the track, or do you have to kid to her? Or?
Very keen, very keen.
It's great, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You know, she goes out full of enthusiasm every time she steps out there, and she'll do the same again today.
Well, Steve, the $1 million question for a $2.5 million race, can she win?
She can win, Ken, yeah, for sure.
I think it'll be one of the most popular wins here at Randwick today, if not the most popular win for a long time. She's been a great horse to this industry, and we wish her all the best today, Steve. Hope it goes well.
Thanks, Simon. Thanks, Ken.
Steve McKee joining us there, and the Doncaster, of course, not too far away. The next race will be the Galaxy, another at Group 1 level, as we take a break from Royal Randwick on Super Saturday. Well, the Don, we know all about him on the cricket ground. Now we know about him on the racetrack. Don Eduardo, that's the one. Number 3, getting there in the last stride to win the 2002 AJC Derby. Damien Oliver is the hoop on board. Perfectly judged run, perfect ride. Jimmy Cassidy was the unlucky loser. And by gee, Damien Oliver would have been a happy, happy man. There's the jockey of Fantastic. Give him a pat on the back. Brett Preble saying, well done, fella. A good effort. And Damien Oliver. Well, they say he's the best in Australia. I think we can probably give him a vote of confidence today.
Well, I can. I've been money on him. But the talk of Randwick is still Jimmy Cassidy's ride on Carnegie Express. And I got to say, 19 out of every 20 weren't too happy with it, Ronnie.
Well, if everyone that backed him weren't too happy, that's for sure. If you're on the winner, you're laughing like you.
Well, let's hear what the beaten jockeys had to say. Here they are.
Jimmy, Carnegie Express, shot to the front. How'd you go?
Yeah, terrific effort, Simon. He, you know, the pace steadied up bad going to the 1,000, which sort of didn't help me.